Oh Lord, how I'm gonna be late to my own live stream. Hey everybody. Whenever you get in, just say hello. We're getting everything set up here. How was y'all's week so far? Well, it's over. How was your week? You pull up the comments here. When you come in, say hello so I'll know you're here. I'm trying to set this up a different way. Okay. Hey Reese. Hey Shara. How you doing? How's your cruise, Shara? Is that on smiley face? Oh, it was cool? Okay. All right, so tonight's video is going to be pretty much about choosing the right people to go on a cruise with. I feel like even as a solo cruiser, this is something important to think about. Just because when you're going to be away from your like home, which I consider like your like sanctuary, out, for maybe even if it's like 3 days, about 3 to 4 days away or more, you want to make sure that you're around people that you can maintain your sanity around. So that's pretty much what tonight's topic is going to be about. Good, good, hot in Bahamas. Well, at least it was hot in Bahamas. Man, it was raining. It rained all week where I'm at in Pennsylvania. It rained all week. I didn't know this was such a rainy state. All right. So any questions about like this topic you may have while I'm just talking, go ahead and post them, and I'll try my best to respond. And then like Shara or someone else can also respond to help people out. But so the first thing I would say is that when you're looking for a good travel buddy, you want to make sure you have someone that I would say like they mesh well with you. And that's kind of like a common sense factor. Like, is this person a best friend or are they just a real good friend? Is this the friend that's reliable? Do they always come through? Do they look out for you? Those are things you want to consider, because if something happens when you're out away from your home and you don't have access to your family, you want to make sure that this person has your best interests at heart, as well as their own. So that would be something to consider. And like that's it. Choosing the right people to cruise with can make or break your cruise completely. You can go from having like the best time of your life to just having a real downright miserable time. So like that was one of my reasons to just start cruising by myself and not really going with anybody, just because the couple of times that I went with other people, I pretty much hated it, or there were things that happened that I was just like, I wish I didn't have to deal with this on my vacation. And then there was one time I went with someone, and even if we had like a bump in the road, we still overall had a really good time. And so I would cruise with her again. We won't share cabins or anything, but I would definitely cruise with her again because we had fun the entire time. And then Shara and I went in July, and we had a really good time as well. So let's see, another thing you might want to think about when you're traveling with someone, do they travel well? Like, I wouldn't go on vacation and share a cabin with someone, or go with someone who has not cruised before and I haven't traveled with them. Like, you should test them out, see how they travel. Like, have you maybe do a short road trip where you go to like another city for a day, see how their temperament is. Do they get angry easily? Do they seem to just go with the flow? Those are things, that it may not seem like a big deal, petty things, but when you're stuck on isolated with someone, they can drive you insane. Like, and you don't want to, ruin your trip because you're just an easygoing person, but the person you're with complains about everything. You know, they can make things seem worse than they actually are, and even if they are bad, it's usually if you just have a good attitude, you can get through it a lot easier. So that's another thing to consider. Let's see. Okay, and so I wrote like a mini list over here. And so another thing I mentioned is that is this a risky person? So, you have the friend that's a daredevil that doesn't seem to, it's not, I won't say that it's not that they value their life less than mine's or value their life less than, usually they should, but they definitely take some risk. That you normally wouldn't do or don't have to do. Like, so like maybe they get sloppy drunk, and, they lose control a lot, you're the designated driver all the time. Think about that. Do you really want to travel with this person? That may not be a good person to travel with just because it's not going to be fun for you. If you can't enjoy your time and this person is, just sloppy with their fun, that's a thing apparently. That can interfere like with your fun, and it's okay for them. If they get a little tipsy or if they know how to hold their alcohol and still have a good time, or let's say they do get drunk, but they can take themselves back to their cabin where you're not having to watch this person constantly, because that can be a buzzkill too. Because what if you want to hang out and do things with someone you might meet on the cruise ship? Because you do meet people. That's a thing. That's something to think about. I would say also, like for choosing good cruise companions, sometimes you can just meet people. Hold on before I finish. Yeah, you don't want to babysit anybody. We're all too grown for that. But sometimes you can meet people when you're cruising before you actually get on the ship. And those are people you can just mix and mingle with, but again, you don't have to stay attached to them. So it gives you something to do every now and then, but you don't have to be stuck with one person. And I believe Crystal, she always misses my live streams, but I'll shout her out right now. She typically goes back and watches them, and she comments like they're live. So I hope she was going to make this one, but she was saying how she's looking for, she needs new cruise friends. And see, the thing is, because it's fun to go with people and have fun. But, oh, yes. So one of my, like, the first 2-week cruise I took, there, I was placed at a assigned table, and I met some lovely people there. I can interact with people of all ages and backgrounds and have a good time. But there was one character that was just, in real particular, she's just, it's not that she was miserable. Is that she was, I'll count it to her loneliness possibly, but she just wasn't pleasant to be around. She complained a lot, but it was one of those like passive complaints. Like, oh, we're going here again. I've been to Grand Turk a lot. Like, I'm going back here, going to this place. And it's just like, okay. And then she brought it up the next night. And so again, this is a 13-day cruise I went on. So imagine 10 nights of that. Like, nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear that. We're still going to go. We're still going to have a good time. But, she wanted to cruise with me again. And I was just like, oh, you can say no, politely decline, like, that's not something I want to do. you enjoyed cruising with me because I know how to just have a good time and go with the flow and repress some of the thoughts that I may have at the time. I know how to behave around people. So you might want to cruise with me because, yeah, it was pleasant for you. But the experience, on the other hand, I would not do that again. So I don't think I've had assigned dining since that cruise. And I do enjoy assigned dining, but unless like I'm going with like solo cruising with other solo cruisers and we're sitting around the same table, like I'd rather just do at your time now. Just because that with that one, it was just like I want to go to dinner, but I don't know if I want to be stuck at a table. And then you see, the people you dine with all the time throughout the cruise. So it's like, and she'll stop and want to talk with you. And again, it's another complaint about something that you don't care about. Okay. Another thing to think about. So, like when you're choosing good people to cruise with, you want to see like when I was talking about testing their temperament. So you might think that like you take a coworker with you on a cruise. If you haven't traveled with them or interacted with them outside of work, you really don't know how they're going to respond. One of my first cruises, I went with a coworker, and this is, I would say, a lady that was pretty close with me. Like we would, have lunch regularly. I referred her to the company, got her the job, and you know, we pretty much like, we'll just look out for each other. So it was shocking to me when we got to the Bahamas and it was raining, there was so much attitude that was unnecessary. And it's just because we like to do things differently. So you have to be patient and understand that if you like to do things differently, it doesn't mean that it's an opportunity to get angry at each other. Just take a moment, calm down, and think it through. Well, instead of doing that, she takes off and kind of like deserts me there. And that was my first time in the Bahamas, but I still, had a good time, went and did my thing. And then I, went and addressed the situation when we got back because I think a little differently. But that was something I was just like, I don't want to experience that again. So I survived my first cruise with someone who wasn't as kind to me. But then I decided my next cruise, which I had a really good time with, what kind of things I wanted to do. And I wasn't going to put myself in that situation again where I was going to be stuck somewhere with somebody who might be that like quick to anger for no reason at all. Okay. Anyone else watching? Y'all are so quiet tonight. And I'm just looking at something real quick here that goes back to another point I was making about choosing the right people to cruise with here. I would say it's like choosing good friends, like being a good judge of character. That is true. When you have to go, so that is true. So like all the people that I went on a cruise with in the past, I they were either church members, co-workers, or people that I saw on a regular basis. So if you're going on a cruise with them, you have to make sure that your actions, wherever you are, like on the ship, that you have to return home, and so you most likely will have to interact with these people again. So um, think about that. Like they may not be thinking about it because some people are just reckless. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about how you think. They're just going to do things that they want to do, say things so flippantly in the way they want to do things. But you have to like associate with these people when you get back home. So always figure out a way, kind of how to bring things back to normal. Because when you're vacation, stuff happens. Tempers get high when people are traveling anyway. Like, just have you been in an airport lately? Just people get very anxious, and so they act on their anxiety. But being able to apologize can really temper a lot of that. So you may want to go into like a blog, or maybe there's boards where they have stuff like Cruise Critic. Carnival used to have like a cruising board, but I think they closed theirs like about 5 years ago. Oh, there you are. I was mentioning you. Here she is. I'm so glad you caught this one because, ma'am, I'll be catching all your comments, and you actually make some really good comments. Um, but basically, Crystal, all we've been talking about is just choosing like good people to travel with. So I remember you mentioned that you were looking for good, you need new cruising friends. What was wrong with her? What things didn't you like about the people you've cruised with before? I'm just waiting for your response here. Okay, so the question was, what things didn't you like about the people you've cruised with in the past, for the reason that you're wanting to get new cruising buddies? Oh yeah. Drama. Okay, that can be a real big thing. Yes. Yes, drama. Anything in particular? So I just fell out of this YouTube blog couple on Master Cruise Line Seaside. Interesting. I know there's a lot of YouTube couples that do cruising videos. And that's another thing, like, so when you're going on a cruise with someone for the first time, um, yes, yes. Because, see, you have the perception that someone is, that can change a lot. Someone will show you, that's what happened with the first time. Like, I did not expect that lady to just, you know, this is somebody I would give rides to, go out of my way to take home, and she just flipped out on me in the rain in the Bahamas and left me at the port to go walk away. And I wasn't expecting that. Like, she revealed to be a different person than who she was at home, and that was a huge turnoff for friendship. And I decided to, I'm a forgiving person, so, forgave her. We got home, but when I tell you, when we hit the highway to get back to North Carolina, I was driving so fast in the speed limit, but I was putting that pedal to the metal to get home. Yeah, that can be unpleasant. Like, you don't want anybody acting funny with you when you go on vacation. So you can definitely get new friends. There's a lot of people in the cruise community you can meet. Um, Hi, Chris. I can't wait for that. I look forward to the day that I can cruise with my like nuclear family, and the kids can go do their thing, and then me and the boo can go do our thing. So that's what I can't wait for. Yeah, that's good you did. And like, when that happens, Chris, you just again, you don't need that kind of energy or company around you. You just move on. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a friend if they're gonna act funny in person. People, because you can really see through people when they do stuff like that, and that's not a person. It's good that she revealed herself like that, because now you know that you don't have to waste any more of your time interacting with that person. So you'll meet the right people who are have good energy. But like, there's websites like Shipmates. They do row calls, and you can meet genuine people before you go cruising. And so when you're on the ship and y'all are doing little meetups and stuff, you can see if these are people you would actually like to cruise with in the future. But you don't have to subject yourself to someone making you feel inferior or less than. Like, that's unnecessary, and that's not a good time. I thought so, Shar. I thought there was something you would tell me about, but I'm saying nothing. September 20th, Horizon, and met friends to be around for a moment. Yeah, that's how you meet people. That's exactly how it happens. How was the Horizon? I never been on that ship. Is it just like the Vista? Okay, good. I'm happy to hear that. So Crystal, what ships have you been on? You said that was a small ship. Isn't I thought that was the largest class of ships for Carnival. Because I went on the Vista. So what ship lines have you been on? Or cruise lines, I'm sorry. Wrong. Oh, okay. I wanted to try no. I am not so I will not like now, and I don't know if it's just because I turned 30, I was just like, I don't want to do anymore. I like having my own room, but if like in the past when I've cruised with other people, um, before January of 2017, I did share a room with them. I didn't like it. Just because, again, people like to sleep at different times. Um, when you just have times you want to relax or not be bothered, it's like there's an obligation to have to go with somebody to do stuff. I didn't really like that. I liked having my own room. I enjoyed it the last three cruises. I went on, except for the one I went on with a friend's mom, and it was her first time cruising, so that wasn't bad. But I learned to share the space with her, but I still thought the room was too small for two individuals to have all their stuff in there. But I enjoy my own space. I enjoy, like, because I usually don't even get like room service every night to come like clean my room or anything like that. I just usually just keep my stuff the way I want it. Like, I'm just funny like that. That's how I am. I like things in a certain place, and I think it's better for our friendship if I don't share a room with you. And yet, people do pack too much. That's the video I did last week where I packed a ridiculous amount of stuff for my first cruise. I ought to be ashamed of myself. But I think, Crystal, you said you bought like 10 pairs of shoes or something. Oh my gosh. Girl, I thought I was bad. I thought I was bad. But I learned my lesson. Like, I bring like no more than 3 typically. Oh, 14. Did you even wear them all? I can't remember if you commented that in that video or not. And too, when I realized on Carnival, especially my 2-week cruise, where I had a lot of diamond members and platinum members, they did not wear dress shoes a lot of times. They wore sneakers. With safety reasons, they wore it like to dinner because the ship was rocking a lot too. And I wouldn't want one of them to have like an accident. There were a couple of people who had to leave on ambulances just for different, reasons, because they were like elderly, but it was very relaxed. And I was like, I'm overdressing. I'm bringing too much stuff. I did a Carnival Pride cam. I liked the Carnival Pride. It was a smaller ship. That was the first ship that outside of the Glory, because the Glory is still my favorite ship. Even the Vista, like past the Vista, I just like the way the Glory was set up. But the Pride was what I did a 2-week cruise on, and so it was a smaller ship. It was in January, so consider that. And so the Atlantic Ocean was on and popping, and yeah. But I was hanging. I still had my I had some like not wedges, but like sandal heels that were about like this high, and I had like a little platform with them. So I wore those, and I just rocked with the ship. Just kept stepping. I still had a good time. I wore the other heels maybe like once or twice, but other than that, I had on flip flops. So the Carnival Pride, I really did like that ship. I thought it was a very good ship. Ooh, see, I didn't think the Fantasy was that rocky. Well, see, I went in August. I think it depends on what time of the year. What time of the year did you take the Fantasy? And I left out of South Carolina with the Fantasy. I know it's not, I think it's in Tampa now. I haven't done the Liberty. Sensation and Cuba. I didn't know the sea was, well, do we have no, the hurricanes, I don't know if they were, I don't know how the Atlantic is around that time of the year. I could look it up. I love Carnival too. I'm trying to try another cruise line just because I want to try different things, but Shar, I don't know. You can say, what do you think for this solo getaway cruise that we want to do next year? Are we doing Carnival or? Yeah, I think Storm out there, but I remember Carnival favorite. Yeah, I thought I had like a lot of fun. I haven't been on another cruise line to compare, but I have fun when I do Carnival cruise lines. And I know one time my friends, and they're pretty fun people, they went on Royal Caribbean and they were just saying it was more not sophisticated, but just for like an older crowd. But that was back in my early 20s. So now I can hang either way. Like, I'm gonna have fun no matter what. Yes. What do you guys think about doing the solo getaway cruise on the Norwegian cruise line or the Royal Caribbean cruise line? The Mariner of the Seas with Royal. That ship was good earlier this year. Okay. Well, at least as long as people are open to trying new things, I think that's the best way. That's why when we did the solo getaway cruise, I hadn't, I was not accepted into school yet, but I knew I wanted to go on a cruise. So I was like, well, let me do it. I picked 2 weekends that would be before school would start. And I was like, let me just book it. But that was in May. And so some people said that they didn't have enough time to plan, which I understand. But there are a lot of people who just get up and go cruising. They don't wait. They grab a bag and they just go. I want to be able to do that more often, but I understand it takes more planning. Okay, I have to read your comments over here just because they're coming up on the screen so fast. Okay. All right, so Crystal says that Royal is better than Norwegian. Royal is better than Norwegian, but Norwegian caters to solo cruisers. I think that's the third time I heard that because Norwegian doesn't charge a double occupancy rate. I do want to try both. I want to try every cruise line, like Princess, Holland, America, because I heard great things about them. Freestyle cruising. Upcharge the restaurants, okay. I really want to try Disney, y'all, but I feel like I got to put a payment plan down for that. I should start planning now for a Disney cruise that I want to take in 5 years. Celebrity, oh, you girl, you need to tell us about that when you get back. I want to hear how that is. But Disney, I hear so much like great things about them, how they have 3 different dining rooms and you're not in the same dining room every night. You rotate and your staff goes with you and service is just great. And I was just like, I would love the solo cruise, but that double occupancy rate is like ridiculous. It's like a down payment for your house. Do y'all usually drive to the port or do you fly? Because y'all cruise a lot too. It's like that better be top of the line service, Crystal. They better like I don't they better make that bed up 3 times a day. Does it include toiletries in the bathroom? It should be great service for $2,100. That's gonna be a fabulous cruise. You're gonna come back so rejuvenated. Oh yeah, you live in a good area, Georgia. That's right in between a lot of the good ports. Okay, okay, yeah, that's okay. You gonna have a blast. That's how I feel sometimes. Like I fly a lot of places when I go cruising, because sometimes driving is not efficient for me just because I can't do a one-way um, rental. It'll cost too much. I may be able to get away with it now since I live in Philadelphia, but sometimes dealing with the airport just makes me insane. I just hate it, absolutely hate it, especially after coming back from a long cruise. I won't fly Southwest coming back from a long cruise anymore from Miami just because it's that 3 hour wait. It's just too long. Like I need to either book a line that I can go straight home. Like I'm ready to go. Steve, there was a good it's probably still on YouTube, but there was a documentary about people who like they don't own rooms on cruise ships, but they pretty much pay like they rent them and they live there for a while, but they pay a good $60,000. But these are probably millionaires we're talking about. Yes, these people have money. They do. I am a professional student again, so now I do not have any money. Go to Priceline and do a mock booking. You'll see 30. Is that a period between that, or is that a comma? That can't be a comma. What in the world? Oh my goodness! Ooh, that hurts my soul. That's almost as much as my tuition for the year. Oh my goodness! But you're gonna have a great time. We want to hear about it too. When you get back, make sure the first thing you do is you come back up here on a Friday and let us know how this cruise went. You let us know how they carried you from your room to the dining hall, then carried you to the top deck. The world. Let me look this up right now. I have never. It goes all over. Okay. Let me pull up this thing called the world. World cruise ship. A floating city of millionaires. Tells me what this is going to be about. Okay. I'll try to turn up the volume a little bit. I got to make sure I mute my other thing here. Let's mute my live here. Pause. Let me know if this is too loud, y'all.
The World, launched in 2002, the World is billed as the largest residential luxury yacht on the planet. The concept of the ship is to see the world without ever leaving home. All of the properties on board are owned by residents who must have a net worth of $10 million. This year, the World has already sailed to Australia and New Zealand, as well as islands across the southern hemisphere. It is pictured here in Sydney Harbour. Residents vote to determine the route the ship will take each year. Here, the ship is seen in Cooper Bay, South Georgia. During 2017, the World will also sail across Asia and the Americas via Hawaii. Here it's pictured off the coast of Indonesia.
I want to do a cruise to Hawaii and then up to Alaska.
The World also offers an expedition program, which sees it travel to 3 remote locations each year, accompanied by experts in the region. Previous expeditions have
Ooh, they got champagne glasses with just bottles.
Pictured serving champagne on ice. In 2017, the World undertook a 22-day expedition of the Ross Sea, which included 12 days in Antarctica. During the voyage, the ship broke the world record for the most southerly navigation at the Bay of Whales.
There's so many little chunks of
Facilities on board
ice.
the ship include 2 swimming pools. Here, the main swimming pool is seen during daytime.
Okay.
The World also has the only full-sized at-sea tennis court on the planet. There are 6 restaurants on board and a variety of bars. Chefs from each restaurant source local produce at various ports.
I wonder if those restaurants are cost or they included in your $10,000 room. I'm sorry, $50,000 room. Check facts. Oh, okay. Well, interesting. I mean, I don't know if I would. They only had two swimming pools on that ship, but they were looking kind of, boring. But maybe service is really good. But let's see. Is there a cruise line? Is there a carnival ship that you can see yourself cruising on for a year? If I could pick, it would probably have to be. I would say either the new class because they have a lot more to do. But it would maybe if they can cut the people down in half. You had to just say something. I forgot. What was it? Quick. What's not respond? How to share stories. Hi guys. It's more than October. Resident Sea, the floating city. Interesting. Yes, isn't that called the panorama? What is it? No, it starts with PAN. I can't. It's all Horizon class. Oh, y'all being shady. I'm gonna stay out of this. Cause I'm still I don't know about a lot of the other cruising YouTubers. Um, the one I did watch before, but that's what I said. That's why I really want to start a channel because I didn't see many for just like single solo cruisers. Um, Try to promote like young people going cruising. Because for some reason, people where I went to school with were scared of water, and I didn't understand it. Being born in Hawaii, my mom had us on the beach regularly. I think we wore a swimsuit every day. Um, Other hand, that's long. Carnival's going to have a new class of ships. Oh, a newer class of ships. See, I'm just trying to get into those cabanas, those Havana cabanas, like the Havana section on just the Horizon class. Once I make it, I felt like I made it once I got into one of those little rooms. The reflection. Let me look. Y'all know so much. Oh my gosh, I've been so isolated. I guess the new one, the next one's gonna be called Reflection. Where are y'all getting this information from? I'm excited. I'm glad they started, doing more upgrades. Because I liked the salad bar they had offered on the Serenity deck. I thought that was nice, so you didn't have to leave to go get food. You can just sit up there. But I thought in the Vista that I couldn't really enjoy the Serenity deck just because it was so windy. I don't know if it was because, well, that's silly to think because it's so high, but it was just windy every single time I tried to go up there and enjoy myself. Okay, new carnival. Girl. See, I have a hard time just keeping up with my class Facebook group. I tell them don't message me on there. I'm terrible about that. New carnival ship in 2020. Let's take a look. Meet the carnival fleet. La Lita Loca. Did y'all know Carnival does feature cruises where they do special events? And when you said La Lita Loca, that reminded me of some of the events they do. They do one for like dance parties apparently, or Zumba, or something big. Like they feature it on their websites in a different section. They do like a February cruise for couples. I didn't like. I knew that they did them, but I didn't know what the stipulations were to get. They were always sold out when I wanted to do them. Okay, I'm trying to look for this information, Shard, that you get here. 2018 said Vista class. Oh, it's not the Horizon class. I thought it was Vista. Okay, new ships on order. This is on Cruise Critic. Spring 2020. celebrities getting a new ship here. Okay, so this one's from August 18th. It tells us a list of new ships for different cruise lines. No, I see Carnival. Okay, Carnival's getting. Okay, it's called LNG powered ship. Second LNG powered ship. So I guess that's just a different way of um, they obtain their energy. Let me just Google that while y'all are being messy. Messy. Paste. Let's see. Marine LNG engine. So it's a dual fuel engine that uses natural gas and bunker fuel. So it's a more efficient and more eco-friendly way. Okay. But what's the? I wanted to know the name of these ships. It just says that. Oh, I'm curious now. I wonder, are they gonna retire some of the like older renovated ships they did? Because I think they used to have a Carnival Destiny, and Destiny was renovated and it became the Sunshine. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought in 2012 I was like, oh, I can't wait to go on the Sunshine. I thought it was a brand new ship. It's not. Okay, so Celebrity Cruise Line is getting 3 new ships. Well, actually 4. I'm not counting. There's one that came out this year, and then there's 4 more coming. One for each year, basically. Disney is getting 3 new ships, starting 2021, and then each year after that. Cunard. I've never heard of that cruise line. Anybody heard of Cunard Cruise Line? Norwegian Pride of America. Okay, because I know I want to do a Hawaii cruise. So for Carnival's itinerary, I did like the Hawaii cruise where they left from Honolulu, and you got kind of like a day and a half at Honolulu. And so I wanted to do that because that way I can explore Queen Mary. Ocean liners. Okay. Then Holland. I want to cruise with them. I heard their service is top of the line as well. Then MSC is getting pretty much almost a new ship every year, basically. 2 for 2019, and then 1 each year going up from there. That's a lot of ships. Norwegians getting new ships pretty much. They got them all set. And Royal Caribbean as well. Everybody's getting new ships, basically. Has anyone done a Viking cruise? I've never done Celebrity. I think Crystal says she's done. Seaside service is not that great. Which ship line is this we're talking about? Okay, so I won't do Viking for a while. About 40 years. Oh, that's the name of the. I thought you were just saying. So I have a question too. So since like kind of the topic is choosing good cruise mates, what are some things or behaviors that you notice from people that you've cruised with in the past that you think are insufferable or just downright ridiculous? Let's see. If I had to start, I would say, um, well, I need someone that they found something that belonged to a different person on the cruise ship. We were getting ready to get off the ship, and so rather than getting someone's attention immediately to let them know that we had this person's phone who's probably looking for it, they're going to hold on to it until we get all the way down to get off the ship. Can you imagine if that was your stuff? You would be looking for it with a sense of urgency. Oh yeah. I know, look, I haven't had the pleasure of cruising with a control freak with schedules because they would be by themselves. Let's see, I would say another thing that I just thought was ridiculous. Oh, girl. Well, it happened. So this is a fact. So if she ever watches this, it's on her. It happened. So on my first cruise, I went to go book. I was so excited about cruising. I just fell in love with it. I actually had met people online before I went to cruise. And so one of the ladies that I met online, we were hanging out and we were going to go book our future cruises because you get cruise credit for your next cruise. So I'm sitting there talking to the guy. We're having a good time. He says, "Okay, well, you just have to tell me what you want. So go to the computer, go look, and tell me what cruise you want." So I go and do that. Come back. He goes, "Man, I wish you were just married because I was trying to tell the other lady of that, and she just started going off on me, saying, crazy stuff that I was, being having a bad attitude, like I didn't know what I was doing." Because I told her, go do the same thing I told you. I wish you would have been here. I said, really? Yeah. I was like, that's crazy. And so we go to dinner, the lady and I who met online. And after dinner, my travel mate comes in and I say, "Oh, how was your day?" "Good." "Oh, I had to deal with this guy at the counter about booking a trip and he didn't know what he was doing." And I was like, well, damn, that was you the whole time. He was talking about you. So downright ridiculous. And the lady, we didn't say anything, but we just thought that was hilarious. We bust out laughing after she left. You were the disgruntled cruiser that he was talking about. So that's when I knew it wasn't me, and that I had to get her home immediately after we got off the ship. Like time was just going so slow. Driving all the way from the ship we went on, the Glory went out of Norfolk that time in Virginia, so it wasn't that long of a drive, about 3.5 hours to Raleigh, North Carolina. But I was driving so fast, and I was just speeding, just nothing couldn't stop. Cause, ooh, complainers, yes. Mm. Oh my gosh, yes. And I agree with you, Cam. Cruises are my happy place. So that's right. I'll just go with the flow. I'll do whatever it takes for me to have a good time. It doesn't matter. Yes, yes, I agree. I agree. But man, let me tell you. Oh my gosh, I learned my lesson that cruise. Yeah, well, because the thing, I don't want to go off for anybody on my vacation. It makes you look crazy. No matter how bad the person's being, and they could be ridiculous, they could be just downright nasty and wrong. If you flip out on somebody, all people are going to see is you. So, mm, nope, 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 nope. Yeah, I've cruised with some friends in December through 4 years ago. I won't share a room with anyone else ever again. I think even if I have kids, they might have to get their own room too. I just can't tolerate that many people in like a tight space because the room we had too was on Ecstasy. Ecstasy is a very small ship, and apparently it needs as training. So for we had 3 people to a room, and they didn't want to upgrade to a balcony, but it was 3 of us, and somebody had to sleep. They actually had a bed on the floor, you guys. Not even like a cot or like a pull-out bed. It was on the floor, and I said, I'm not sleeping on that. I can't. I'm not. It's not that I think I'm above anything, but I'm a little too bougie for that. I just can't. I've been exposed to a little bit different, so I don't want that. We were there. Have a good time. Forget 3 people. They don't deserve the time of the day. That's true. Oh yeah, yeah. Crystal, my sisters have to get their own room. Love them, but I've learned them. So we're gonna have a good time, and they want to plan a family cruise. I'm like, okay, y'all coming in my territory now. Because it's not worth saving the money to have the headache, especially when you just want to do whatever you want to do. I know it's their first cruise, but they're getting their own room. They can't share a room with me. We love each other, but we can't get through a car ride together without people make their little comments in your family, so you get away with it. Just woo, no, 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 no. Mm-mm. Okay, so let's see. I was looking at something else. Mm, that's just good advice for friendships. And so too, just make sure if you're cruising with people, make sure you're giving off good energy. Because if you're not self-aware about how you can contribute to a situation, sometimes by you just being in a good mood and being like a good spirited person, sometimes, not all the time, you can rub off on the other person. And if not, again, like I think what Cam said, you don't let that ruin your good time. I think she did. Yeah. Crystal, have you solo cruised before? Okay, 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 good. Yeah. Come on, say yeah. I love it every time. And it's crazy to think that how if you've never done it before, the first time you go solo cruising, that you're nervous. You think like you have all these concerns, like, and it is just the best thing. I can't believe I didn't do it the whole time. It's hard to go back cruising with like people when you're so used to just going by yourself and you're having a good time. Yes, that's true. I have a scrapbook I keep of every cruise I've been on, and I kind of like have it set up. I even have a picture with the person I went with at the time. And it's good to have those memories you can reflect on. So it's good to have cruise companions. Let everybody just get their own room. Okay, so it's about 11:30. Start wrapping this up. Have a long day ahead of me tomorrow. Um, Got to go grocery shopping first thing, then going to the gym, and then studying and more practicing. So let's see what you're saying here. I have to read, but I still push. Yes, so solo cruise group we're gonna do. We decided we're gonna make that an every year thing. We want you guys to come out next year with us. We had a great time. It was just the two of us. We were expecting more people, but they couldn't make it. Not a big deal. But Shar and I had a blast. That was my first time meeting her, and we have similar personalities anyway. But we had a really good time. And Shar's, was that your first time solo cruising? Oh, the Honda Fun Tour. Excuse me, you're right. I'm interested, but I wouldn't do it again. Yeah, it was interesting. I did that too on Carnival Pride for the 2 week cruise. And I wish I had done it on the Vista instead. What ship did you do it on, Cam? Okay. Yeah, so I did a review of the Behind the Fun tour. I think it's in my How to Cruise Like a Boss playlist. I have a long playlist of videos of different things, cruising topics, so you can check that out. Um, I shared my thoughts and I showed everything I got, but I felt like it was long. I was tired, and I thought they were gonna cook us a meal. They gave us like a little shaved bar soap, so I was over it. So, oh, I made you try it. Well, now you know how I felt, and I guess did they give you anything, Cam, when you went? They was being cheap. They didn't give us no covered strawberries. We went down to like the lounge where the employees do their clubbing and stuff. We got tea and grapes. And then an hour later, we made it to the steakhouse. And I'm thinking we're going to get like a little piece of something. Oh no. We had to sit down and fill out a survey of how it was. And then they sent us our pictures later. So I have to put that in my scrapbook. So the captain, oh, the best part of that tour, yes, tea and grapes. Oh my gosh. Like, and I was just waking up. Like, I woke up late for some reason that day. I'm never late for anything. Um, so I was hungry, but they did have a spread of stuff available for us. So I had like something, like I think they had like they're continental with the little dry pastries and orange slices, and I think the standard lemonade and tea. Oh, you a serious cruiser too, man. I miss it. I just I need to plan my cruise. The solo cruise is pretty much going to be it probably for me, just because I want to go on a cruise in December, but I don't know. I'm saving that money for something else. And then I want to go one in the spring, but I can't go anywhere for my spring break. So August won't be the next time until I can cruise, and I'm just going to miss it so much. I feel so free when I'm at sea. That's why I love doing it. But Shar and we're still working it out. We will have it. So October is right around the corner. We will know by mid-October, so probably sometime around the 15th. And I will give you a date. We'll announce it. That's not too far away, but we're gonna get together, buckle down, and just decide, so you guys can start making your plans. So we have this week. I'll be busy. So Shara and I. So October 19th. That is the third Friday in October. We'll make the announcement for the solo getaway cruise, for what date we decided to go with. And by that time, we'll be able to look over cruises and have. Should we give them a top two, or should we just decide? Do you want us to give you guys options, like two options, or do you want us to just decide the date and then you'll let us know if you can make it? Oh, I know. What are you going to school for, Cam? Yeah, I'm a broke student too. So like I said, if we plan it a year in advance, a little bit, not quite year, but a little bit more, time, you can make payments. We'll try to get something that's affordable. We're not doing now. We can't afford a $2,000 cruise, but we'll find something. Cause we did the solo cruise that was 3 days. It was a little bit pricey, but I had a full-time job. It will go well. You have to speak that up. Think positive. It'll go well. Keep telling yourself that. I'm going to live stream. Yes, so Shower will start live streaming on her channels. She's going to do one, hopefully do it next Saturday, because she still has to tell y'all about the solo getaway cruise, her experience, because we both had, we had this similar experience, but we had different funny things happen to us. So and she can tell a story much better than I can. I'm not a great storyteller. That's not my gift. I can convince you in person. I could probably lead a really good cult, but that's not about it. So let me cut this off. Yeah, so if you just search for Shar Stories, or you just click on her profile, like click on her face or her icon, it should take you straight to her channel. But I go to her channel all the time, so if I type in Shar J, it pops up. I don't know if her old name is still linked to it. Okay, so I'm getting ready to sign off, but also if you guys are interested in my journey through optometry school, you can follow me on my other channel, which I have linked below in my comment box. And so I'll typically do a video once a week there. I don't have a set day yet for that because it just kind of happens when it happens, but I do the blog for list. So on the blog, it might interest you, Cam. I did a list of STEM programs available where you can get funding just for participating. And the government will give you money as a student to participate in a STEM program. So if you're going to start with mathematics and maybe something else, that may be something you're interested in. But there's a list of STEM programs on my page. I also did a list of birthday freebies on my blog. So you can check it out. So I do my blog mostly for lists. And I did more of it in things in the past. But I realized it was easier just for me to get on here and do a video because it takes me a long time to do something, especially when I have to think it through. But if I get up here and I just, if I had to record this and then go back and edit, it's better for me just to live stream and get it over with because I don't have the time to go back and edit. But I plan 10:30 because I'm usually done with everything I need to do in the day. And this way, I don't feel like I'm cheating myself out of studying because this is my free hour. So Yes, I'm excited too. I can't wait for the solo getaway cruise. But we have to decide on a date. So I'm thinking orientation week for the next class. That will be the best time for me, and that's in August of next year. So I'm going to look that up, find that out, and Shar and I will be back with the good news. Okay, so you all have a wonderful night, a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you next Friday. All right, bye, y'all.